Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to our plant systematics class. In this video, we are going to start a new family, and that is Brassicaceae. The Brassicaceae family, just like the previous family Umbelliferae Apiaceae, has original name as well. So this is its alternate name, or so to say new name, which is according to the ICN, or International Code of Nomenclature, and its previous name or original name was Cruciferae. So Cruciferae, because of its cross-shaped petals, so it was Cruciferae. But now it is Brassicaceae. However, just like Apiaceae, it is also referred to by its old name or original name Cruciferae in the botanical literature. In fact, in several books, name Cruciferae is given instead of Brassicaceae, and Brassicaceae is given as an alternate name. Whatever the case might be, we are going to refer to it as Brassicaceae family. Brassicaceae family, or the mustard family, because its type genus is a famous plant and it is very widely grown or cultivated as a winter crop throughout the area, the Brassica repa or Brassica campestris. So that is its very common plant. Now, first of all, we are going to discuss its diagnostic characters, or the characteristic characters of it, or the distinguishing character of family Brassicaceae. So diagnostic characters. So this particular family, the family Brassicaceae cruciferae, is characterized by the presence of petals and sepals, or sepals and petals, which are four. So we have four sepals and four petals. Now this is not something very special, having four petals or four sepals. The special thing about this family is that these sepals or petals, they are arranged in a cross, so like this. So this is its speciality. So they form a cross-like structure. So that's why they are, the original name of this family was Cruciferae. So this is their special character or taxonomic character, the cross-shaped petals, because these four petals, they are diagonally placed, so they are making a cross. So this is their first distinguishing character. The next one is the character of the stamens. Now stamens in family Brassicaceae, they are tetradynamous. Tetradynamous is actually six stamens. And of these six, four are longer than the other two, and two are shorter. So we have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4. So these four stamens are longer in size, whereas two stamens like this, so they are of shorter size or smaller in length. Their filaments are smaller than the other four. So this is a special condition, and it is found almost throughout the family. So this particular character, which is also known as cruciform corolla, as we are going to discuss it in the corolla. And the next is tetradynamous character of the stamens. Stamens 6, 4 long and 2 short. Next is the ovary, which is, although single, it is actually a bicarpellary. Just like family Apiaceae, it is also bicarpellary, but it is unilocular. Although the ovary is bicarpellary, or the carpel is bicarpellary syncarpus, but the ovary is unilocular, and the another special characteristic of this family is that later it becomes bilocular. The ovary becomes bilocular, and this bilocular, that is in the start, this is, for example, these are two carpels, these are the two carpels. So now the ovary is unilocular, but later a septum is formed and it becomes bilocular. So this is what we call false septum. This is not original wall of the ovary as we have seen in Apiaceae, in which ovary was bilocular with a septum in between. So it becomes bilocular by the formation of false septum. So false septum, because it is not original wall, so we call it false septum. So this false septum, it is a membranous structure which divides the ovary chamber into two, single chamber into two. So it becomes bilocular because of the formation of a false septum. Next is its placentation. And placentation is a different one, although it's a bicarpellary. Apiaceae was also bicarpellary, but as we have seen the differences, it is unilocular. In Apiaceae it was bilocular. And placentation is parietal. In Apiaceae it was axile placentation. Now parietal placentation is such that the carpel, the ovary or the carpel, is polycarpellary and syncarpus. So the carpels are more than 1, 2, 3 or 4, but in this case they are 2. So carpels are 2 or more than 2, it's a polycarpellary syncarpus, but ovary is unilocular. For example, if the carpels are 3, so the situation is somewhat like this. So as you can see, now these are the 3 carpels, and in this case they are 2 carpels. So in either case, if the ovary is if the ovary consists of 2 carpels or 3 carpels, it is unilocular. Now these areas, these are the fused margins of the carpels, as you can see it here in the tricarpellary. So this is a tricarpellary and this is a bicarpellary. So in both cases, as you can see, that the fused margin, they bear the placenta. So placenta are here again, let's draw them with that orange pen. So the placenta are born on this fused margin. We are discussing parietal placentation. So in parietal placentation, ovary is polycarpellary, syncarpus and unilocular, contains single chamber. There is only one chamber. And the placenta are born on the fused margins of the carpel, like this here. And as you know, ovules are born on these placenta. So here are the ovules. So this is what we call parietal placentation. So it's totally different from axile. So let's see what is parietal placentation. Ovary is polycarpellary and syncarpus. The carpels are united, right? And the main thing about this parietal placentation is that ovary is unilocular ovary. Okay, and next is the position of the ovules or the placenta. So the placenta are borne on the fused margins of the carpel. So this is what we call parietal placentation. So this is another feature of the family Brassicaceae, distinguishing character, as we are discussing its distinguishing characters. So parietal placentation, we are going to discuss it again when we discuss the ovary or the carpel, when we discuss the floral characters of the family. Next is the distinguishing character, the final one is the fruit. So fruit is siliqua. If you remember in the previous family Apiaceae, we discussed that the fruit is simple, dry and schizocarpic, and I told you that there are three different dry fruit categories: achenial, capsular and schizocarpic. So this siliqua is actually a kind of capsular fruit. This is a capsular fruit, and the characteristic thing about is because this siliqua is a characteristic fruit of family Brassicaceae, because it is formed from a bicarpellary and syncarpus and unilocular ovary. Unilocular ovary. And the placenta are born, or the ovules are born on the fused margins of the carpels. It is unilocular in the beginning but becomes bilocular because of the false septum. The false septum makes this fruit bilocular, and that septum is very clear. It's a semi-transparent or something like that. It's a partition when you open up a fruit, say of brassica or radish, and so you can see the septum yourself. So it becomes bilocular because of the false septum. Now siliqua, the other fruit that is found in this family is silicula. So these are two fruits, silicula. Siliqua is basically an elongated fruit. It's a long fruit. It's quite long. So this is siliqua, and the silicula is actually much broad as compared to its length. So this is the difference between the two. The siliqua is much longer as compared to silicula, and silicula is a short fruit, as in shepherd's purse, Capsella bursa pastorus. Siliqua is found in, say, radish and brassica and so forth. So this is the siliqua fruit. More about it when we discuss the fruit. So it's a capsular fruit formed from a bicarpellary syncarpus and unilocular ovary, which becomes bilocular because of the formation of a false septum. So this was the discussion of the distinguishing characters of the family Brassicaceae or cruciferae. So let's go through it quickly once more. So Brassica or Brassica family, this is its original name, cruciferae, and later it was known as Brassicaceae, but it is still written cruciferae in several books. The mustard family. Diagnostic characters, so it has sepals or petals. Mostly we refer to the petals. So there are 4 petals and they are arranged in a cross diagonally like this. So we have these 4 petals. They are arranged like a cross. So it is known as cruciform corolla. Then we have stamens 6, and they are known as tetradynamous because 4 are long and 2 are short like this. So it is tetradynamous. Ovary is single, but it is bicarpellary, and it's polycarpellary, syncarpus, and the number of carpels is 2. So it's bicarpellary. but the chamber of the ovary is single, and it becomes bilocular due to the formation of a false septum like this. So there is septum formed in between the two carpels and it becomes bilocular. The placentation is parietal. Parietal placentation is such that we have a polycarpillary and syncarpous unilocular ovary, and placenta are born on the fused margins of the carpels, as we have demonstrated in these two figures. As you can clearly see that these are the fused margins where placenta, and to those placenta ovules are attached. So this is parietal placentation, and then its fruit, it is siliqua or silicula. The difference between the two is basically the length and the width. Silicula is a broad fruit with a length very short, and siliqua is a much longer fruit. This is the basic difference between the two. So it is a capsular fruit. It belongs to dry, simple, dry and capsular fruit. It is a subcategory of capsular fruit, which is formed from a bicarpillary syncarpous unilocular ovary, which becomes bilocular due to formation of a false septum. More about it in the fruit category when we discuss the fruit of family Brassicaceae in the general characters. So these were the distinguishing diagnostic or characteristic features of the family Cruciferae Brassicaceae. More about it and its general characters and distribution, vegetative, floral characters, etc. we shall consider in the next videos. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.